It's a misty winter, and you're making cards just like I'm doing. And you want something that looks beautiful, but you don't have much time. This one took about 20 minutes. It's really simple to do. And so since the video you're about to watch is very short, I'll keep my intro very short. How about that? I don't have much to tell you other than it doesn't have to take a long time to be beautiful. So this is a pretty nice looking card, I think. And I'm going to show you how I did this right now. So let's see if we can pull this off. So let's say you have guests coming over, and there's a guest that's going to come over who you do not have a card for, but you have watercolor paint and you have some blank cards. Some blank cards, well, at least one blank card. Or maybe just a piece of watercolor paper that you can fold into a card. So let's make probably one of the easiest, but still beautiful watercolor landscapes, I think. And the idea is to first get the card wet, just damp really. You don't have to be soaking wet. You can see it's already buckling because it's such a large area that I'm painting. But that's okay, that'll go away. Now what we want to do, I'm going to take the back of the card and use it as my palette. I'm going to use a little bit of blue. And I'm going to take that blue, just like that, perfect. I'm going to take that blue and I'm going to put it right in the middle. Just a line right there. Maybe not exactly in the middle, but sort of, kind of, right there. I'm going to let the water spread. And some people call it blooming or blossoming. Just let that water spread. Let it go to the top part above the line. Just above the line. Let it just spread. You can dab it, you can brush it, you can do the strokes, you can do vertical lines. Just spread it around however it seems to go by itself. Just keep it nice and watered down. And then what you want to do is you want to keep a white border between that part and the bottom part. And you kind of want to do the same thing. Just put the same thing, put a little line of blue, same blue. Just this time you're going to bring it down. So you have this white area between the top and the bottom. Okay, just like that. Doesn't have to be thick or wide. Just spread it down. So you have some guests, like I mentioned, coming over. You need a card. There's nothing open. It's Christmas Day or whatever. Or it's late in the night, or you live way out in the jungle and you can't get to a store. And you just want to have a nice, pretty card. You're going to write something nice in it too. I'll leave the writing up to you. But the picture I'm going to help you with here. Okay? So now, for the sake of the video, I'm going to turn off the camera and let that dry just like that. But you're going to have to, it doesn't take long to dry it. What I'm going to use is this dryer, but you could use the hair dryer. It's probably way better to use a hair dryer because a hair dryer doesn't get as hot as this, and this could potentially put a burn mark on the paper, so you don't want that. But let me use this and I'll be right back. All right, so we have our dry, and now it's basically just tinted, and you see some of the water spread over to the white area. That's okay. We just want it to be sort of kind of that way. Now we want to do the same thing See if we can get a little darker blue. Maybe not so. I'm just mixing, just experimenting until I get a little bit darker. You want to pretend there's a little valley in the middle and a little hill up here. So just go ahead and put a little hill there. Let that disappear to nothing in the bottom there. And just go ahead and paint that as if it's a little hilly area there. And then down here, try to do the same thing. Kind of just, it doesn't have to be perfect. So just go ahead and put some darker blue here. And then do the same thing over here. It's like you've got a little valley between two hills. And you can brush it on. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to exactly replicate what I'm doing. No, not at all. And then just here, the same thing, because this is the reflection in the water. You already know that, right? Okay, there we go. Now we got two halves. This is the water line, and that's the top. Okay, it's still slightly damp, which is a good thing, because it'll help us with this as we get deeper into it. All right, now we're going to take that same blue, add a little bit of darkness to it, and now we're going to take a brush. We're going to paint little, like Bob Ross would say, happy trees. just some happy trees. They're going to fade as the water dries. And all you're really doing is putting these little triangles in there. Okay? That's all you're really doing, putting triangles. And as you get to the middle, put them farther away or make them smaller. They look farther away. Okay, so we have some bigger ones over here. Just grab. If you feel uncomfortable using a big old brush like I'm using, then use a smaller brush. Try to create a little bit of a look of trees. Just distant trees, you know, nothing really defined. There we go. Little trees in the distance. Just dab them into place or brush them into place. Whatever your style is. Remember, you have a style of your own too. You can do it. And the guest is not going to arrive for a couple of hours, so he'll have plenty of time to get this done and try it. Unless the guest is already in the house. All right, now see all these trees we did? Let's kind of try to duplicate that down here. Let's try to make these trees again. These don't have to be as perfect because they're going to be blurred out a little bit by the sheer fact that it's a reflection. But just try to replicate kind of what you did up there. Just put it upside down. Okay, now over here, the same thing. Just keep getting more color on your brush. Try to keep it a little toned down. Don't make it as stark blue. Okay, keep it watered down. There we go. You just water it down. There we go. There we go. Just little reflections in the water. And this will be fun. It's a great way to use your watercolor paint. And I don't know if you know this, but I have the cheap watercolor paints right now. These are the very affordable Winsor Newman, sorry. And I think they're called Cotman, C-O-T-M-A-N. I think that's what they call them. All right, so now we have our trees and our reflection of trees. And we're gonna now take a line right here on the edge of the water. Make it a little darker. Let's kind of put some dots and dashes and a little bit of Morse code going on there. Okay. Alright, now you see it's already happening, right? It's already happening. Hey, guess what? If your guest is in the house right now, just stop. Fold this up, rub that out so that it doesn't look so bad. And then give this is their card. This could be their instant Christmas card. You could even laugh about it. You could even say, yeah, I didn't know you were coming. I made you a quick Christmas card. They will love it. But let's say you have some more time. So far we've spent, I don't know, 10 minutes on this maybe. Now what we want to do is we want to get a darker color. Like a black if we can. Okay, now right here on the edge of the water, I'm going to put a line. I'm going to put like a, doesn't have to be continuous. It doesn't even have to be straight. Just where the water meets the land. I'm just using a skinny brush and I'm just half dragging it across. Okay. Now you see that? Now what we want to do is we want to put some, go ahead and get that dark blue. Just go ahead and, you know what, use a bigger brush. Let me just use this one. Just want to add some dark blue to the bottom part of our trees over there. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfectly lined up either. Just put it in there. There we go. You see how that puts some depth into the bottom of the trees? And then you do the same thing over here. Again, the reflection to resemble what's going on in the upper part of the painting. Yeah, the Christmas season is stressed enough, right? You got enough stress going on. You don't need to worry about somebody not getting a card and then feeling bad forever. So this is a way, last minute card. Or maybe it's not last minute. Maybe you're at a craft show and you want to kind of have a show. Maybe you're selling cards, but you don't want to necessarily sit there and paint one of your more detailed cards. So you want to show, yeah, maybe you want to show how you make cards. Well, I would take the simple cards, the simple landscape ideas, and I would paint them, make them very nice. Okay, again, now this is the top part to reflect the bottom part over there. And again, just take these darker shades and put them in there, and you go ahead and make some trees, upside down trees, right side up trees. Okay, you see how I'm using that? It's a very old and broken brush, and it'll help you kind of make that look of trees. Okay, now you already see it, right? You already see the reflection. You can see it's happening, right? Now let's just go ahead and kind of dot the land a little bit. Maybe the snow is not completely covering everything. It's got a lot of growth, maybe still poking through. And just take that broken brush and put some stuff in there. You don't necessarily have to do that on the bottom. You could just pull some lines down, which is going to be the last step, by the way. I hope I'm right about that. See, now you have you already have like a wintry landscape going there. Now let's get that skinny brush again. And with that skinny brush, what we're going to do, we're going to take the darker black or the dark blue, and we're going to go ahead and make some vertical lines in here. Let's see if we can do that without messing up too bad. Just some vertical lines. Maybe some lines that maybe even go down into the bottom here. Maybe there's some trees closer to the water. Here we go. And then of course you're going to have that reflecting in the water. So just put some vertical lines. These are the trunks that you can see through the mist. If it's too wet and it spreads too much, then just wait a little bit till it dries. Yeah, let's put some trees, some vertical lines here into the foreground. And go ahead and put some, just squiggle these lines out. Get those reflections there. There we go. Put lots of little lines. These are the trees that you can see. They're closer. Just back and forth, create that look of an evergreen tree. A whole forest of Christmas trees, let's say. Let's call it Christmas tree forest. Here we go. Take those vertical lines and make them into trees. You already see it. See it? Oh, that one spread out a little too much. That's okay. We're going to worry about that later. Or not at all. There we go. That's our Christmas tree reflecting in the water. There we go. Okay, put this down here. Let's just bring it into the foreground a little bit. Into that hill. There we go. I think it's done. What do you think? You see how easy that was? Just keep, maybe just keep working it. I always say I'm done and then I keep working it anyway. And if you have, like I say, some foreground trees here, just put the reflection in the water. Yeah, a couple of horizontal lines, just to, maybe it's not clear what that might be. Just how many trees you want. You know, I wouldn't do too many. You know, so this is a tree here that is right by the edge of the water, it looks like. Okay. And then you can get a lot of these reflections in the water too. Yeah, little trees. All right, so there is my little tutorial on how to do a last minute but pretty Christmas card. Now the only other thing I have to do is take that back of the card and spread around all the paint that I used on the back. And I didn't use that much paint. It's very quick, very easy, and very pretty. And somebody will love this card. Sometimes the best Christmas is the simple Christmas. Maybe that's the lesson here. Simple winter card. All right, now I'm going to let that dry and I'll be right back. And I'll fold the card. Hold on. Okay, it's dry. Let's fold it, make it into a card. And there is one of the simplest, quickest watercolor landscapes for a Christmas card or a winter card. Just so easy and so quick. And I want to show you the one step I did that I don't usually show. I have an envelope and I have a piece of paper, a plastic sleeve. See it? What I do then is I take the back of the card and I take a little thin pen and I make it a keepsake. So as the artist, I'm going to sign it and I'm going to name it. Let's call this one Misty Winter. Just making something up, so I call it Misty Winter. This is how I do it. And this is all the cards that I'm selling at the auction. Now I'm selling it so that the church can raise money for their youth program. I honestly don't know the whole details about the youth program, so forgive me for that. But I'm donating 200 cards. This is number 186. So there's Misty Winter. I'll put my name. I do my name a special way. I've been drawing my name this way for a very long time now. I don't know when I started doing this. I have a piece of art from when I was 17 years old. And I was not doing this then, so I didn't do it when I was 17. Okay, so Misty Winter, Larry Whitler, which I'm Papa, by the way. And then I'm just going to put the date, 2024, just a year. Doesn't have to be the whole date. And then what I do, so you see I put my name on there and all that. Then what I do is I take the envelope, I put the envelope inside of the card, and then I put the envelope and the card inside this plastic sleeve. And now I have a nice package, a nice something for somebody. So it's a gift. It's a piece of art that somebody can have as a gift or as a Christmas card, but everybody loves them. It doesn't matter what's painted on them. Well, it does matter. But my point is, it doesn't have to be a landscape. It could be a floral picture. It could be, a summer landscape. It doesn't have to be a winter landscape. Anyway, I wanted to keep this video short and simple. And thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.